Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm going to be telling you guys all about the books that I bought in August. Before diving into this video though, I do just want to mention that it is 10 to 6 at night on the 4th of September and I'm only now able to film this because it's been 24 degrees today, which is insane. How are we getting this sort of weather in September? I have no idea, but yeah, I do just want to mention it now in case the lighting changes, in case I start to melt. So I do apologise in advance if any of that occurs, but I've waited as long as possible for it to cool down. It is looking like it's getting a little bit gloomier now, which is nice, but yeah, I did just want to mention that at the start of the video in case it all goes a bit downhill. In terms of the books that I bought though, I honestly haven't really gotten too much. Now I know what you're thinking. Rhiannon, there are loads of books in that thumbnail, and yes, technically you are correct, there are a lot of books in the thumbnail, but 6 of those books are actually subscription box books, so I have only purchased 6 for myself, which honestly I'm quite shocked at. I think I have purchased more, to be fair, but because of the whole issue with Waterstones and their warehouses at the minute, a lot of stuff that I've ordered and pre-ordered haven't been sent out, so they will probably be in the next book haul. I feel like that's going to be a big one because I do have a few pre-orders coming through, so definitely keep an eye out for that one because hopefully everything with Waterstones will be sorted by then and us book buyers will get our orders promptly. Now I feel like I've rambled on enough, so without further ado, let's just dive into the haul. Now I don't think you're ready for this first set of books, you guys. I think they are the most beautiful set of books that I've ever seen, and I cannot believe that I finally own them. So I'm just gonna slowly bring them into frame. Can you guys see that? Just take a moment, you guys. Pause the video if you have to. Take a moment and just appreciate these spines because they are absolutely beautiful and I'm just absolutely in love. Of course I will give you guys a close-up, so this is what they look like together and you will probably be able to see now what these books are, but these are the Lord of the Rings books by J.R.R. Tolkien in this stunning clothbound edition. So I will give you guys an individual look at all of the books, starting of course with the first part, which is the Fellowship of the Ring. The second book is The Two Towers, and just look at this foiling, you guys. I just can't deal with this. And then lastly, I think this is my favourite one, but we have The Return of the King, and it has the iconic Tree of Gondor on there, which is also the symbol that the spine makes up. I genuinely cannot believe that I've got my hands on these, you guys, because I have looked at these for years, and I'm not joking, I've seen these secondhand for £500 plus, and I did debate it, as you guys can probably believe, but I just could not justify spending that amount of money on a set of books. And it's pure luck actually that I stumbled upon these because I was on Waterstones searching for Lord of the Rings books, the new Rings of Power covers in particular. When I spotted the Fellowship of the Ring on there, it took me by surprise. I had to stifle a scream and I had to check that it was in fact real, and when I clicked on it, it said I could pre-order it, and that's when I lost it. I was just so excited. Poor Tom, bless him, had to listen to me go on about how much I wanted these books and these editions specifically, and so I searched for The Two Towers, found that one, and then of course found The Return of the King, and now they're here and they just look amazing. And yeah, I'm so happy with these, and I can't believe that after years of looking at these secondhand for crazy amount of money, I have bought all 3 of these for £16 each. I'm just so chuffed, and yeah, I think this is one of the most beautiful sets of books that I will ever own. I'm so happy to have these. They do match an edition of The Hobbit that I have as well, which I am too lazy to go and get, but it is on my shelf there. You've probably seen it in most of my videos where I hold up a copy of The Hobbit. It's a beautiful clothbound edition as well, so I'm just so excited to see them together on my shelves, and I'm gonna treasure them forever. The next book I'm gonna show you is the first book that I got this month. I'd had it pre-ordered, and again, I'm so glad that it's finally here because that one is Egyptian Myths by Jean Menzies and it's illustrated by Katie Ponder. Now I do have a copy of Greek Myths by the same author and illustrator here as well. I have flicked through this, I have read a few of the stories, absolutely loved it, and so when I saw that they were bringing out an Egyptian myth collection, I just had to pre-order it. This is just a beautiful book, you guys. So there's a look at the end pages. It's essentially a collection of stories from ancient Egypt, the mythology, all that sort of thing, and I just think that this is perfect for people of all ages. Like, look at how beautiful this is, you guys. I am just absolutely obsessed. Here's another page that I absolutely love. And for a bit of context behind why I'm so excited about this, I have been fascinated with ancient Egypt for as long as I can remember, but I specifically remember the moment that my love for this was just catapulted, and that is when I was in year 4 in school, which is about 8 years old, and I had to do a project on a country. It was completely random and I got given Egypt, and when I started looking into Egypt and the mythology and things like that, I just fell in love. I was so intrigued by the different stories, the different gods, the representation of the gods as well, because if you don't know, a lot of them have animal heads or bodies or tails, and that was just so interesting for an 8-year-old, and it's still interesting now for a 23-year-old. And I definitely feel like it's hard to get into ancient Egypt mythology. There are definitely not as many books available for Egypt and Egyptology, Egypt mythology in particular, in comparison to Greek mythology. So the fact that Jean has worked to bring out this book is just fantastic. I am definitely going to be making my way through this. I'm not going to read it in one sitting. These are books that I tend to read a story or two from every now and again, and once I read them I might even put them in my classroom so that other children can experience these stories and hopefully find a love for mythology. Next up we have a book that was sent to me unsolicited, meaning that I did not ask for it, it was just sent to my address, and that one is Veil of Winter by Melanie Dickerson. This is actually an ARC copy as well, which stands for Advanced Reader Copy, but it is actually out now. So it was on sale on June 14th of 2022, which is obviously a few months back now, but it arrived at my house at the start of August, so of course I'm going to include it in this haul. Because it's unsolicited though, I literally don't know anything about it, though the cover does have me intrigued because I love horses. That's another element of my childhood that became obsessive in a way, because a fun little fact about me, I am allergic to animals, in particular animals with fur, and for some reason horses are the things that set me off the worst. I have been hospitalized because of it a few times, and that was mainly because I love horses so much, and my family owns a few farms, that I would go to my relatives' houses and sneak off to see the horses, and obviously because I'm severely allergic to them I would come out in a rash. I couldn't breathe and so I would have to get taken to hospital. My mum knew exactly what I'd been doing, even though I was trying to lie about it and say that I wasn't. But essentially what I'm trying to say here is that I loved horses when I was a child. I still do. I have such a love for them, but unfortunately I will never be able to own one myself. So any book with a horse on it has me intrigued, especially one that looks like this. Because I don't know anything about this one, I am just going to read you the synopsis. It says, in the mountains near France, the medieval Princess Elise is being forced to marry, thus forming an alliance that will enrich her father but enslave her kingdom. Instead, she chooses to feign her death and flee to Prague to beg King Wenceslaus to help save her people. In England, the young knight Sir Gerard has a vision from God instructing him to help Elise on her quest. When he arrives to find that she has been near death for days, he manages to revive her. However, thinking the stranger was trying to kiss her, the princess immediately distrusts him, but her desperate situation forces her to accept his aid. Pursued by her enemy's guards over mountainous terrain, they must also battle the deadly winter elements. Her greatest challenge may be to overcome the voices of disapproval and accusation from her childhood. Will her emotions lead her into her true identity, or will they undermine her ability to work with Gerard and to save her people who desperately need her help? In this dazzling and romantic story, New York Times bestselling author Melanie Dickerson takes the classic Sleeping Beauty fairy tale to satisfying new heights. Okay, I did not know that this was a Sleeping Beauty retelling. I am definitely intrigued by that. However, I'm not quite sure if this book is going to be for me. I will definitely keep hold of it for now though, and hopefully give it a go. Maybe I can pick this one up for Polathon. I feel like that would be a great pick, but it's definitely not one I'm going to pick up soon unless there's a kind of readathon or prompt involved in a TBR that makes me have to read it. So if you guys have heard of this before or have read it, please let me know your thoughts, because I am interested. I'm just not sure if or when I will get to it. And then the last book that I bought myself this month is Oathbringer Part 1 by Brandon Sanderson. Now this is where the Waterstones situation first started for me, because I did pre-order the second book as well, which had the same release date. However, I have not received that one yet. So I do only have Part 1 to show you guys, and honestly I don't really know too much about this one, and I'm not even going to try and explain what this book is about, because this is the third book in a series that I haven't started yet. It's one of the most complex Brandon Sanderson series, and I just don't think I could even begin to explain it to you guys because I'm pretty clueless about it myself. But this is a beautiful edition. It's definitely harder wanted to show you guys on camera because of the cream colour of it. But I believe that these are the collector's edition for the Stormlight Archives. I showed you guys book 1 and 2 in a previous haul. If I can find it, I will leave it linked up above and down below. And once I have the second part to this one, my collection will be complete. So we're waiting on that one. It will probably pop up in next month's book haul, but I wanted to show you guys the first one anyway because I did get it last month and it's just absolutely beautiful. Right guys, moving into the subscription box books. I haven't posted an unboxing video in a while, and that's mainly because these boxes have been appearing sporadically, and so I haven't wanted to film an unboxing video that will literally be 2 seconds of me opening a box and showing you a book. I wanted to do Fairy Loot and Illumicrate together, but because they've just been arriving at different times, I just haven't been wanting to wait to open them. So I am going to show you these here. I probably won't give the full synopsis for each of these books because I feel like this video will then be very boring and long, but I will go through the special editions with you so that you can see what they are like, and of course I will let you guys know my initial thoughts on them. Kicking off this section of the haul, we have The Undertaking of Hart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. I want to say, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. This, just from the get-go, isn't looking like it's going to be my type of book, but I am going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to show you guys what it's like to start off with. So this is the cover. We have a really cool stenciled edge. There's art printed on the book itself, which is very reflective. Then we have these cute end pages, and it's also signed by the author. So as an exclusive edition, this is a pretty nice one. I don't know what the cover of this is supposed to look like, so I will overlay the original cover for this on screen now just so you can see the difference if there is any. But the little snippet here says, "The house in the Cerulean Sea meets You've Got Mail in this quirky, refreshing fantasy with a rom-com worthy twist." You guys know fantasy is my favourite genre, however romance is not. I barely read romance unless it's in a fantasy book, so I'm not sure about this one. It definitely feels lovey-dovey to me and I'm just not about that, so I might have to look at some reviews and see what people think. But I do believe that we have plus size rep in here, which is awesome and definitely needs to be more of a thing in books. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look at reviews for this one and see whether it will be the type of book that I enjoy or not, because I don't really want to have it on my shelves if it's not, and I don't want to waste my time reading it if it's not. So if any of you guys have read this, please do let me know your thoughts, but otherwise I will be checking Goodreads to see what other people have thought of this one, just to help me make my decision. Now Kiwi is here. Right, my dog is here, so I apologise if you can see her, hear her. Mind you, she is the cutest though, but she is a bit of a pain when I'm trying to film. Here she is. She did want to say hello. She's a bit confused because of the camera and the ring light though, bless her. And she's feeling very sorry for herself because she actually fell off our garden wall into the neighbour's garden and we couldn't get her out because the neighbour wasn't here. So I think she had a bit of a fright, bless her, and she's just being a bit needy. So if she does come in and out, please just ignore her. The next book I have here though is The Darkening by Sunya Mara, which, oh my gosh you guys, look at the cover. Look how beautiful this is. It does also have these sprayed edges, which again I just think is beautiful. We have this design printed onto the book itself. These are the front end pages, these are the back, and once again it is signed by the author. Okay, there's no snippet on this one, so I will just read you the full synopsis, but it says, "Prince Stalker was born for one purpose, to protect his home from the storm, a deadly force that surrounds his city and curses everyone it touches. Vesper Vale is the daughter of failed revolutionaries. Since the Queen sentenced her mother to death by the storm, she and her father have been on the run. So when the Queen's soldiers, led by Prince Stalker, catch up to Vesper's father, she will do whatever it takes to save him from sharing her mother's cruel fate. Even arm herself with her father's book of dangerous experimental magic. Even infiltrate the prince's elite squad of soldiers sorcerers. Even cheat her way into his cold heart. But when Vesper learns that there's more to the story of her mother's death and that her home is in dire peril, she has little choice. Trust the devious prince with her family's secrets, or follow her mother's footsteps into the storm." That actually sounds really good, and it's definitely one I do want to pick up soon, and I will let you guys know what I think of it. The next book is The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones, which again is beautiful. However, I really disliked the bone houses by this author because she does use the Welsh language throughout her book, and she was using it incorrectly in the bone houses. So as a Welsh speaker, that was really infuriating to me. The author is American, so she's not even from here, and I just think if you're gonna write a book with Welsh in it, then you should at least get it right. So I had a massive gripe with that first book. I really did not enjoy it. I also thought the writing was a bit simplistic actually, and the plot was just not it. So all in all, I really didn't like it. So when this arrived, I was definitely apprehensive, and I still am. I am definitely not sure if I'm gonna read this book. That will all depend on whether you guys want me to give this author a second chance, or whether you might want to see a rant review, because I feel like that is what will happen if I read this book. I will just show you the book itself though. So we have this as the front cover, which as I mentioned is beautiful. I really do love it. We have a simpler stenciled edge, but again it's one that I really do like. We have this design printed onto the book itself, which is gorgeous. We don't have end pages, which is definitely a shame, but it is signed by the author, which you can't see, but I promise it is. There you go. I have just seen though that it does have this artwork on the reverse of the dust jacket, which again, the art for this and the design of this whole book is stunning. Like, I cannot fault it. It's one of the prettiest books that I've seen, but it's just such a shame that it's for a book that I just don't think I'm gonna enjoy. So yeah, see again, it says here, part heist novel, part dark fairy tale, and rich with Welsh legends, The Drowned Woods is an ethereal fantasy perfect for fans of Kristen Cashore and Maria V. Snyder. Oh, I just don't know if this is going to be for me. Yeah, she uses a Welsh name, Mererid, as one of her main character's name, and I just don't know, you guys. Let me know what you think. Should I give this book a go? If I do, would you want a dedicated reading vlog for it? I don't want to be negative, and if I can avoid being negative then that's fine, but it's not often that you see Welsh representation in books, and so I do want to give you guys my honest opinion on that as a Welsh person. So yeah, it's something I might do, I'm not too sure, but this was added to my collection recently, not by choice, but I had to show it to you guys because it is one that I now own. Right, I know that I just said that this last book was one of the most beautiful books I'd seen, however, this is equally as stunning. It's Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen, and I am of course gonna give you guys a close-up because look at that, you guys, and it gets even better when I show you the sprayed edges because we have a kind of ombre going on which completely matches the colour of the book. So I absolutely love that. I think it's such a nice detail. Another cool thing is that the book itself looks like this. I love it when books have these sorts of designs under the dust jacket. This one definitely reminds me of Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. We have this art on the end pages and this one on the back, and then I thought this was meant to be signed, but mine isn't, and I don't know whether to reach out to Fairy Loot to ask if it's meant to be or not, but then I don't know if I'm that bothered. I feel like I probably should, because if I love this book I'm gonna really hate myself for not contacting them, but on the other hand I don't want to be a pain. So yeah, I think it was meant to be signed, or it was meant to come with a book plate because all the special editions do, and yeah, unfortunately mine hasn't, so I might have to contact them. We shall see. But moving on, it does say here that this is a darkly enchanting fantasy debut about a morally grey witch, a cursed prince, and a prophecy that ignites their fate-twisted destinies. Perfect for fans of The Cruel Prince and Serpent and Dove. Loved Serpent and Dove, wasn't too keen on The Cruel Prince, but this definitely sounds like it's going to be a good book. I love a good prophecy in my fantasies, so that is definitely something that is drawing me in, and the fact that it's so beautiful definitely helps. Right, you'll be pleased to know that we have made it to the last book, or rather should I say books. Now you can probably tell from the thumbnail which book this is because one of the editions has the name of this book written everywhere and I can't not show you, and that one is of course Babel by R.F. Kuang. Now I have two editions here. I have the Illumicrate version, which is the darker one, and the Fairy Loot version, which is the lighter one. So I'm gonna give you guys an in-depth look at the Illumicrate version first, just because that is the one that got to me first, and then I will move on to the Fairy Loot edition. But as you can see, this one is beautiful. It comes in a slipcase which looks like this. The design on the slipcase is the same the whole way around except for the spine of course, but yeah, it just looks the same there. And then on the book itself we have this design on the front and back, which I don't know how I feel about this, you guys. I feel like they could have done something a lot better. I just don't think it's striking enough. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I do like the design of it in terms of the fact that you can see the architecture behind this building, but as an exclusive edition that's just come out of a slipcase, this doesn't wow me, unfortunately. The sprayed edges though are so cool. I absolutely love them. It says an act of translation is always an act of betrayal. Then we have this design on the end pages. It is signed by the author, and then we do have some extra content such as a letter from the author and a scholar's handbook. Moving on to the Fairy Loot edition though, this one, as you can see, has a different coloured cover. They've decided to go for a silver look for this one, and I didn't love it at first, but honestly it's growing on me, and I definitely think that it suits the vibe because you can see the background a bit better as well. So here is a little close-up for you guys. Hopefully you can see it properly. I know that it is reflective, but the best bit is yet to come, you guys, because look at this. Can you guys see that? I really hope it's not blurry. It has the design from the slipcase that Illumicrate gave us, but as a stenciled edge. Like, look at it. This is one of the best stenciled edges that I have seen. However, the only issue I have with it is that it looks wonky. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but if I move the book about, the tower obviously goes all wonky. So that is definitely a design flaw, but honestly, I don't care. I really do love it. I think it's so striking, and I will be facing it outwards like this on my shelves as well because everyone needs to see this beauty. As well as that, we have the same design that Illumicrate has on the slipcase, but in this instance we have it on the book itself. I can show you guys the sprayed edges a bit better now possibly because look, it just carries over the whole way, and I love it so much. Then we have this art on the end pages and this art on the end pages at the back of the book, and as per usual it is signed by the author. After looking at both of these editions, I shockingly want to say that the Fairy Loot edition is my favourite, and I say shockingly because every time we've compared a Fairy Loot and Illumicrate book, I have said that the Illumicrate version was my favourite. However, this one just takes the cake this time. I don't think there's anything too special about the look of this one apart from the slipcase, but I do like that you get extra content in it, which obviously you don't get in the Fairy Loot edition or the standard edition. But the whole vibe of this, the colour palette, the stenciled edge, it's just a no-brainer. I absolutely love it. I honestly might even pop this one into the slipcase, you guys. So I could do it this way and have Babel like that, or I could do it this way and again have this design there and the sprayed edge like that. So I'm not sure. I might play around with them. I might keep them as they are. Please do let me know though which one you prefer. Do you prefer the Illumicrate version or the Fairy Loot version? And then all I'll say about this one, because I really don't want to know anything about this book before diving in, it says Oxford 1836, the city of dreaming spires. It's the centre of all knowledge and progress in the world, and at its heart is Babel, Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, the tower from which all the power of the empire flows. Orphaned in Canton and brought to England by a mysterious guardian, Robin Swift thought Babel a paradise, until it became a prison. But can a student stand against an empire? This just sounds absolutely amazing, though I am scared to dive into it because everyone that I've seen read this book has absolutely loved it. So there's definitely some pressure behind it, but I honestly think I'm going to be one of those people that love it. There's just something about languages and the setting of Oxford, which I have been to, I just absolutely love. And yeah, I think this is going to be for me, and you guys will find out pretty soon actually if that is the case, because this is on my September TBR, which means I will be reading it this month. So definitely follow me on Goodreads if you haven't already, and also on Twitter because I am posting updates for Bookhaul on there. So if you would like to keep up to date with my thoughts on these books, definitely go ahead and check that out. I will have everything linked down below, so all you need to do is go over there and click on the correct link, because I am quite busy at the moment and I just don't have time to film reading vlogs. I'm really going to try where I can, but yeah, just in case I don't get around to any, Twitter and Goodreads is the next best bet. And there we have it, you guys. These are all of the books that I bought in August. Definitely a mixed bunch, but a lot of that is down to the subscription box books. I feel like the ones that I purchased for myself are ones that I'm going to really love, and yeah, we'll see what happens with the subscription box books, but this is a hefty stack and it's very heavy, so I am just going to pop it down. And that is it from me today, guys. If you have made it all the way through and would like like to let me know that you're still here, please do go ahead and leave me some tree emojis down in the comments. You guys saw by my reaction, this is the most beautiful set that I've ever bought, and the tree on this is pretty significant. So if you don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, but you would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and comment a tree emoji now. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, as well as the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!